Before we get into today's episode on Maxx Crosby and Clelin Ferrell, I just want to let you guys know that today's episode is sponsored by SeatGeek. If you've never used SeatGeek before, you can get $20 off your first purchase just by using the promo code JKS. That's all you have to do. It's a great place to get tickets to sporting events. I mean, that's what I've always used it for. And you can get $20 off just by entering the promo code JKS if it's your first purchase. That's all you have to do. Looking around the league, there's some preseason tickets that are going for like $15 depending on the team. So, you buy two of those, that's $30. You save $20 off. Now you're just spending $10 for two preseason tickets. I mean, that's a great deal. You can't really beat that deal. And it also helps me out, so if you want to help me out, that's a great way you can save some money and also help support this channel. So if you're interested, the link is in the description below. But if you prefer to just watch the game on TV, well, that's totally fine too, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So we finally got to see our first look at this new Oakland Raiders team that they have drafted so many rookies, and there were several I was interested in seeing how they were going to play in 2019 and just seeing how they would play in the preseason. But after Nathan Peterman had a good game, I said, okay, well, I had to make a video on Nathan Peterman. I mean, you guys know how much I love Nathan Peterman. But I figured, okay, I should also talk about some of the rookies, and two rookies I'm going to talk about in this video are 4th round pick Maxx Crosby and 4th overall pick Clelin Ferrell. I actually wasn't expecting too much from Crosby right when this first game was happening. I mean, listen, he's a 4th round pick, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Typically a 4th round pick ends up just being some depth, but I was actually pleasantly surprised with how he was able to handle going up against NFL level offensive linemen. And I know it's not all first strings, but I mean, listen, a 2nd or 3rd string offensive lineman is still better than most college players. It wasn't all positive. I'll actually start off with a negative. This was kind of his welcome to the NFL moment in a lot of ways, I felt like. It wasn't his first play or anything, but this probably was his way of feeling like, oh, okay, gotcha. This is what the NFL is like. This is what the talent level is like once you get to this level. Understood. That's where he is on the screen, and he's going to be going up one-on-one against the right tackle. And once this ball is snapped, he's going to try to just attack that right tackle. He's going to try to get his right arm right on that tackle's left shoulder pad and basically just push him back. That's his job on this one. It's something you could do pretty easily against a guy who's not as strong as you, but with the strength of NFL offensive linemen, this is just not a great idea. You can't use all upper body, you're going to have to use your lower body to a degree, and watch that tackle is able to just get his left arm out and just push him over to that right side of the tackle. Crosby just didn't get his legs into it as he should have, and now he's just in terrible position to try to make a play. At that point, he was completely taken out of the play. However, there is going to be something I like about this from Crosby. Yes, he got taken out of the play, but watch how he runs over and still is able to make this tackle. I mean, that's good hustle, Listen, he made a mistake. I don't consider that really a bad thing too much, just because, I mean, again, it's the kind of thing that works in college. You will see this with rookies, is there's a learning curve. You work on technique all you want in college, but, sometimes you will just sort of do certain things because they work. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to just make a play that's good. You're not really worried about technique when you're in a game, you're worried about just actually getting to the quarterback. So sometimes you will do things that aren't necessarily technically sound as long as they work. However, once you get to the NFL, you really do have to be technically perfect if you are going to get to the quarterback with consistent pressure. But, he's a rookie and he'll get better at those types of things. What I was impressed with was the hustle. I mean, a lot of guys kind of phoned into preseason. Crosby didn't. Crosby was clearly working hard out there, and I really do respect that. This play was another one where that's where Crosby is on the bottom half of the screen. It's going to be a play action to the top half of the screen, and then Goff is going to just run over back to the bottom half of the screen. But also, one thing you'll notice is that Crosby is not going up against the right tackle. He's actually going up against a tight end right here. And so for him, that's a matchup you should win pretty easily. And as you see right now, look at how far bent over he is. Doing this, all he needs is one push to get that tight end off of him. So because of that, he's easily able to push that tight end over to the top half of the screen, and now he's in good position to try to make this play. It was also pretty good awareness of realizing that this is play action and Goff does have the ball, so that way he can try to run over and make a play on Goff. Because for now, he is going to run over to Goff and kind of disrupt this play a little bit. He even got a hit on Goff, which, that matters. The ball fell incomplete. Would it have been a completion if he wasn't in the area? Probably not, but hey, good play anyways. Consistent pressure is more important than splash plays in a lot of ways. Just getting to the quarterback consistently, that's what you have to do. There was also this next play where once again he's going up against the right tackle. However, something interesting is happening here because there's also going to be a tight end in this game. So for Crosby, he doesn't know. This could be a double team or the tight end could be running a route. He doesn't know. It could be either one. So really what you want to do in this situation is run around the tackle. So that way if the tight end is blocking, well, you're putting the majority of your strength on the tight end as opposed to the tackle. But also if the tight end isn't blocking, well then you can still get around it tackle. But of course, the disadvantage of that is it does help the right tackle get in position to then try to make a block on Crosby. So that's kind of the trade-off, but it is a trade-off you should take. I mean, maybe every now and then you can sort of cheat to the inside if you feel like you can get away with it, but more often than not, you should run around to the outside. However, for Crosby, he seemingly read that the tight end was not going to be blocking here. As you see, he doesn't even worry about the tight end, he goes straight for the tackle. So he must have known something beforehand that, okay, this tight end is not going to be blocking on this one. I know he's not going to be blocking for X, Y, or Z. I don't know the exact reason, but he figured something out. So now it's just a one-on-one matchup, and when he initiates the contact, he's able to get around 71 right there. I mean, that's good leverage because he's very far over. 71 would ideally want to get his right arm basically on Crosby's left shoulder pad, but he kind of has to just put it on his chest. He can't get it all the way over. Because of that, he can't have as much power on Crosby, and Crosby is able to get around him. Didn't end up mattering, but a good play by Crosby nonetheless. So okay, that's kind of my thoughts on Crosby. I thought he showed some good hustle and did have some good moments. Maybe his technique could lose a little bit of just a tuning up a little bit. Before a 4th round pick, I actually thought he played pretty well, and I was pleasantly surprised with how well he played. But on the other hand, when talking about Ferrell, I actually thought that his first quarter was abysmal. He stumbled out of the gate, but I did think that he actually did get better later on in the game. I think it took him a second until he got used to the NFL level talent. It is something you will see, and I mean, listen, that's why you have your rookies take more snaps in the preseason than your veterans, because oftentimes they just need more practice. I mean, that's really what it is. But anyways, this is his first play. He's going to be on the top half of the screen, and you would think that left tackle is going to be one blocking him, but that is actually not going to be the case. Instead, it will be a tight end pulling up to the top half of the screen, and he will be the one blocking Ferrell. They're doing this because it's going to be a run to the bottom half of the screen, at least that's what it's supposed to be. So, for Ferrell, this should be an easy one-on-one matchup to win. I mean, as you see, once this ball is snapped, that tight end is going to just lower his shoulder and just try to deliver as big of a hit as possible on Ferrell. But Ferrell should just make sure that, he uses his hands to not allow it to be that big of a hit, and then he'll be able to use his strength to get around him and try to make a play. However, one thing you're going to see him try to do is basically he's going to try to absorb that hit. He's not going to use his hands at all. He kind of just lets himself get hit. Maybe his thought was in college, most tight ends don't try to hit him like that, or maybe he just didn't see the tight end. Either one of those things are possible. Especially because the halfback is actually going to cut over closer to the top half of the screen, closer in Ferrell's direction. But look at what Ferrell's going to do from this point. He's going to get beat. He gets pushed down and ends up falling down. I mean, that's just not what you like to see. You don't like to get hit like that against the tight end. I mean, that's something you hate to see your 4th overall pick have happen. However, it wasn't because he's physically bad. It was kind of just mental errors more than anything. And that happens with rookies. Again, that's why you give rookies this experience and this playing time. He had some other bad plays in the first quarter. I won't harp on all of them because, we get it. Okay, so he had some bad plays in the first quarter. It's something you see a lot of players do. Sometimes they just have some trouble getting adjusted to the high talent level of the NFL. I actually wouldn't be surprised if somewhere along the way someone didn't come up to Ferrell and just say, listen, dude, you're good at football. Just relax for a second and focus on your fundamentals. You're doing fine. Just, take a second, make sure that you're doing your part, and then you'll be able to start playing football and start playing well. And you know what? He actually did start playing well. He had a bad first quarter, but I thought he played pretty well from that point forward. Like on this play, he's actually going to be on the inside here, and again, that is something that's good about Ferrell, is he can be a defensive tackle or he can be a defensive end. He can do either one. But one thing you'll see is that he's actually going to get double teamed on this one. So okay, shouldn't be able to get into this play, that's fine. At least you're taking away a double team, and hopefully someone else can win their one-on-one matchup. And what you'll see after the ball is snapped and the play develops, for one thing, at the last second, that center is actually going to turn around and try to block the other open Raider in the area. He felt confident that his right guard can win his one-on-one matchup. However, Ferrell's doing a good job of disrupting on this play. I mean, for one thing, look at how far over that right guard is from where Ferrell is. However, there's another problem developing. Because his other defensive tackle in this play actually broke to the inside of that right guard, this now means that there is going to be a gap where Bortles could try to run through. And we know Bortles is a runner, so that's what he's going to try to do. But watch Ferrell's jump and watch how he's able to run over and make this tackle. I mean, that's a first down if Ferrell doesn't make that play. That was really the first time where I was like, okay, good play, Ferrell. Good awareness and also good speed to run over and make that tackle. From that point forward, I thought he started playing a lot better, and he could have looked a lot more calm out there. I think maybe just getting that first good play off his back was kind of just what he needed to say, okay, that's right, I can play football well. Let's get me back into the game, and let's get me some more quality snaps. And he did play some pretty quality football from that point forward. And not just physically, he was making some mentally good decisions. I mean, take a look at this one. He's going up against the right tackle, and watch what happens after this ball is snapped. He's going to go up to the top half of the screen, which is what you have to do since it was a play action, and it could have been a run to the top half of the screen. But since it's not, he's kind of been taken out of this play, and this is just, he's out of the play. It happens, and also 67 did a good job blocking him, so again, you get beat every now and then, it happens, and it's also a very understandable situation since it was play action. However, one interesting thing here is there's a halfback who's in this area who definitely could potentially get open. That is somewhere you could look to throw to, so watch what Ferrell does. He's simply just going to stick his left hand out and kind of just disrupt that halfback a little bit and take him out of the play. I mean, hey, why not? You've gotten beat, okay, so you've already not made an impact on this play, but you can still find a way to make some positive impacts on this play, even if it's not in a traditional sense. Yeah, it would have been great if you got a sack on that play, but you know what? You're going to get beat sometime. But finding a way to still have a positive value despite the fact that you got beat is huge. And it's also obviously not pass interference since you are behind the line of scrimmage. So just really a smart play, almost like a veteran type play, even though he was playing like a very raw rookie earlier in the game. And I also thought it came full circle with this next one, where that's where he is on the screen, and once again, they're going to try to pull a tight end over and see if he can block Ferrell. And so, they're both getting in position, and Ferrell this time is definitely not going to get hit by surprise. I mean, as you see, he's looking right at that tight end, and this time he's going to lower his shoulder and deliver a hit right back. That caused a collision. He's not moved at all, and he's able to help go in there and, stop the halfback. I mean, that's a good play by Ferrell. It worked earlier in the game, it was not going to work there. He learned his lesson in a big way, and so that's what I like to see a lot, actually. You're going to make mistakes, that's what the preseason is for, but learning from your mistakes, that's what you love to see, and honestly, I think that's more promising than if he just had a great game. I mean, if he just played like he did from quarters 2 through 4 in the entire game, well then I think you would say, okay, well good, he showed some promise. But I think the fact that he was able to learn from his mistakes and actively get better just throughout the course of one game, I think bodes very well for his career. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Ferrell. I'd like to know what you guys think, and as always, thanks for watching.